It's hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show, baby. Let's go.
Nice.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to the show. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. We're brought to you by firefan.com. Go to firefan.com, man, and get down with our leagues. Well, as a matter of fact, we're going to play a league game for all 4 NFL divisional round games this weekend on FireFan. All 4. And I'm not sure if the contest is going to start this weekend, but I think, they're actually going to do a contest where they're going to give away a car. That's right, for players that actually, come through with more points than anybody else. They're going to actually give away a car. So if you want to get down, man, with FireFan, you need to do it. You got to go to firefan.com and use promo code TDSS. That's TDSS, and join in on the fun. I'll give you more details about that car. I'm not sure if the actual contest starts this weekend, but even if it doesn't start this weekend, starting very, very soon, you need to get down with FireFan and learn how to play the game, which is very, very simple. They basically just ask you questions about what's about to happen in the game, and if you answer the questions right, you get points. It's as simple as that. Whoever has the most points, they win. So go to firefan.com, use promo code TDSS, which is the acronym for the Doug Stewart Show. Once again, that's TDSS, all right? I'm going to read some messages in the chat. I got to be honest with you, man. And I meant to mention this earlier. I got to be honest with you. Your boy is operating on fumes right now. I think I had maybe 2 hours of sleep last night. If you listen to this show, and even before I started doing this platform on Spreaker, I was doing a YouTube show. So for the last 5-6 years, man, we've had this issue with squirrels getting into our attic, okay? And so this past year, we got a new roof on my house. And so we hadn't heard the squirrels at all this year. Wow, we didn't even think about that when we got the new roof on the house, that, maybe they closed up whatever gaps the squirrels were getting into. And it's those little flying squirrels, not like regular big-ass squirrels, because I actually caught a couple of them on, through some means that I probably shouldn't discuss because I don't want Peter coming to look for me. So they're those little flying squirrels. They're very small, so I can easily see how they can crawl into gaps or whatever under the soffit board or the fascia or whatever. And so they were up in our attic, man. And they basically had like whole, neighborhoods up in our damn attic for the last 5 or 6 years. So this year we hadn't heard them at all. And when it gets cold, that's when they come in. Okay. And so we hadn't heard them at all. Last night, about 2:30, I didn't go to bed till midnight. About 2:30, my wife taps me. I'm like, what? What the hell? I jump up and she's like, listen. That's what it is. I know a lot of y'all y'all been going through the same thing as well. She's like, listen. And sure enough, I hear them bastards up there again. It gets worse. Hold on. So the story gets even worse. So sure enough, they're scurrying. I hear them scurrying around up there. And the sound is a little bit different. So I don't actually think they're in the ceiling. I think they're like on the roof or in the gutters or something like that, trying to find a way in. And last night wasn't even that cold, so I don't get it. Maybe these squirrels are on crack or something like that. And so they're scurrying around and it stops, okay? And maybe 20, 30 minutes passes by, and in the middle of the night, all you hear is, and I look over, we got a fireplace in our bedroom, and clearly something's dropped down in the fireplace. Oh my Lord. All I hear is the one boom of something dropping down in the fireplace, which we suspect is one of the animals, which is an actual vent underneath the fireplace in our room where I guess theoretically they could come through and get in the room. So my wife is so scared of bugs, animals, any type of critter like that. I mean, it would absolutely die. She would have a heart attack and she would die right on the spot. So when whatever it was drops into the fireplace, my wife jumps up so fast, because remember, 30 minutes earlier, she heard squirrels scurrying around in the attic or on the attic, and so on the roof, and so she's thinking that's what dropped down in this fireplace. And I mean, that's rational to think. And she jumps up, trips. I hear her bust her ass on the ground. She literally jumps out of the bed, falls, hits her head on the desk or whatever on the wall because it makes a couple of loud thumps. By the time I jump up and realize what's going on, I'm hanging and swinging. I don't wear no drawers. Maybe that's too much information. I jump up, and I'm like, what? And I hear what's going on, but she startles me more than the damn squirrel does. And by the time I get the light on, her ass is already out of the door. Her ass is already out of the door, leaving me to fend for myself. It kind of reminded me of that episode of Martin, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. It kind of reminded me of that episode of Martin. You remember when they went on that trip and that monster was in their room? Yeah, so she was gone. Like if I had to fight a monster like Martin had to do, like, I would have been dead. If the monster would have bit me, I would have been dead because she was gone. She was absolutely gone. Not only did she leave, but she closed the door behind her. I guess in all of the commotion, she had calm enough sense that if there was something in the room, she wanted to close the door to keep it confined to just that room. So, obviously, I didn't find anything. I think that what it was a squirrel, but I think it fell down like some separate chute. You know, they have that little silver, like, haystack, and then they have the regular chimney or whatever. So, something definitely fell down there. I believe it was one of those squirrels, but it didn't go into the fireplace area that was in our room where it could come out into the room. And that's it. She's talking about putting a sign up and selling the damn house. We ain't selling no damn house. We ain't selling no damn house. We not. Yeah, but so needless to say, you know how it is, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Whenever you wake up in the middle of the night like that, it's hard as hell to go back to sleep. So I think I went to sleep. So that was probably at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I think I went to sleep at like 5:30. And I get up at 6 o'clock every morning. So I had 30 minutes of sleep. If you add it to the first 2 hours I had 2.5 hours of sleep. Stinking ass flying squirrels. 404-382-0338. I tell you what, I'm going to get into this football stuff. Right, Waterhead laughing his ass off. I'm going to get into this football stuff, man. I'm also wanting to get into this 3-on-3 tournament stuff or league stuff by Ice Cube. I want to get into that, but I want to read some messages in the chat first on Spreaker.com from Jan from Snellville. Uncle Doug, we did ish like that for the same reason. It assured your brother's pledge process was correct, toughening your ass up so we wouldn't be complaining about men like Odell Beckham Jr. Right. You're right. He's talking about the little drills that we've been talking about today in Little League football and how it pertains to head trauma and how things were different back in the day. Yeah. I'm not saying I regret any of it. I was just making the point that a lot of things that they got away with back in the day when we were coming up, they can't get away with them today. Or they probably tried. You know, a lot of the guys that I'm talking about that are coaches now, they probably try to do a lot of the things that we did back then. But what happens nowadays is somebody mama sees and they go and report your ass. Back then, they didn't report you. Back then, they didn't report you. As a matter of fact, they actually, welcomed it. Nowadays, you do something like that, some, mother going to go back and tell the league officials or whatever, they doing this or this to my little boy, and so and so and so, and they hitting them in the stomach, and they making them do the Oklahoma drill. I mean, that wouldn't fly today. I don't think that would fly today. From Gilliard Road's finding 6 inches, Andre, laugh out loud. I can imagine them youngins hurting. Oh, man, the great 6 inches drill, man, that was the absolute worst. Up, out, back, beat on them, down. Remember that? Maybe that was just a Monk's Corner thing. Yeah, so the coach should be like, pick your legs up, and your legs were together, you're laying on your back, and pick your legs up 6 inches, up. Then put them out. You spread your legs out wide. And all of this time is like gaps in between, and your stomach is on fire. But one thing, though, I will say is even back then, they knew that it was all about your core. They knew it was all about your core. So it was up, out, leave it there for a couple of seconds, then bring it back, and then, beat on it. And then sometimes our coach, if he was really in a bad mood, he'd be like, ride a bicycle on it. That's when you lift your legs up and you were riding a bicycle, all at the same time while your damn stomach is on fire. From Smitty, football is soft now. You can't rap and go through a man these days. Oh, yeah, they don't. I wouldn't say it's soft. I mean, these cats hit now. What these cats don't do today, though, is they don't lock up. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. They don't tackle. They just try to go for the big hit. You know who does that? Keanu Neal, if you're a Falcons fan. First-round draft pick for the Atlanta Falcons this past year, plays safety. He's going to be a Pro Bowler for a long time. He reminds me of, like, old-school Mark Carrier. Remember Mark Carrier played for the Lions, played for the Bears for a long time? He reminds me of that type of dude, just an absolute headhunter. And Keanu Neal, man, I mean, he makes these big hits, but he don't wrap up. Like, they go for the big ESPN highlight film now. They brought it down where they aren't hitting cats high. Back in the day, they used to aim for your damn head. But he brings it down, and he gets all body for the most part. There's nothing dirty about what he's doing in today's standards. But they don't wrap up. They don't tackle really as good as they used to. From Chief Rocker, Jersey Vern, I've been in my house 16 years and never had that problem before. I guess it's a Cobb thing. KKK squirrels. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. So there's these trees behind our house, and they actually live in the trees. And when it gets super ass cold, they try to find cover. And man, I can't tell you how many times I paid people to come out and try those what do they call them? I can't remember the term, but they basically come out and try to get, remove animals like raccoons and squirrels. There's people that actually are paid to do that. And, they've come out and I give them all of this money because it's really a bothersome thing. It's kind of scary to the women. And I don't give a rat's ass, man. I'm from the country. We grew up with that shit.